Hey guys, it's Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm so excited because we're going to be reviewing the new and amazing and gorgeous Tati Beauty Volume 1 Textured Neutrals Eyeshadow Palette. So I am so excited to try this palette out today. I swatched just a few of the shades over on my Instagram, and just because of the glitters, because I couldn't help myself, and the formula is just absolutely perfect. It's like nothing else I've ever tried, and I think this is going to be a good one. So Tati is like the beauty influencer, beauty reviewer icon. So this palette, I am expecting it to be absolutely amazing, but I am going to be giving you guys my honest full review today of the palette. So I'm going to be doing a few swatches and creating an eye look so you guys can kind of see the colors in action. And yeah, so let's get started with today's video. So not gonna lie, I had been like counting down the days till this palette was launched so that I would make sure that I would get it, and then I was waiting like every day. I think it took like a week and a half or so for this palette to come, which is just because there was probably so many people that ordered it because I know she sold out. I wanted to make sure that I got this video up for you guys as soon as I possibly could, so I'm excited. If you couldn't tell, and I've said it 50 times, it's okay. So, are you ready for the reveal? Even though it's like all over social media. It says Volume 1, Tati Beauty, Volume 1. This palette is cruelty-free, vegan, just like black, sleek, it's matte, it's a very nice and thin palette. So here we go. Let me pull past the plastic out. That would ruin the reveal. Oh my god. This palette, you guys, this palette, do a little close-up for you guys. So you have this huge mirror here that is pretty much the size of the palette, which is so nice and very convenient and helpful. You have 24 eyeshadow colors in here. They're a pretty decent sized pan for each one. You have 6 different tones, so they're all kind of just similar tones of eyeshadows in each column. But then for the rows, you have 4 different formulas. So you have a matte formula, a sequin formula, a metallic, and a glitter formula. And that's what's like really special about this palette, because I've never seen a palette that does similar shades, but yet they're so different just because of the formulas. I think that's a really interesting idea and concept, and definitely very different. So you have Memory, Ritual, Story, Soothe, Aura, and Poet. So those are the 6 different tones of eyeshadows. You can kind of use each column by itself, or you can mix them all up, and that's probably what I'm going to do today so that I can show you guys more of a variety of what you can create with this palette. But yeah, so let's get started. I'll probably do some swatches throughout the video. Zoom you guys in really quick so you can get a closer look. I'm going to be starting out really neutral as I usually do. I'm going to start out by using the matte Aura shade. So I'm going to just apply some of that right on crease and the lid a little bit, just to set, because I do have a little bit of concealer on just from applying my base and things like that. So I'm applying that to set it a little bit. So as a quick little swatch, I'm going to go into the shade Soothe, which is right here, this other matte shade, just so you guys can get a little bit of a better idea of the formula. It's super creamy, and here you can really see the pigment of this eyeshadow. I'm going to show you guys. That's how amazing that is. Okay, so then blending this out, it blends really nicely. You can see the more you blend it out, the softer it gets. I'm going to go into the shade Soothe and actually add that to my outer corners and crease. Now we're going to build a little bit more color, so play around with these mattes a little bit. So now I'm going to use a smaller eyeshadow brush and go into this matte brown. It's deeper and it's the Ritual matte shade. And I'm going to just pat that right on the outer edge of the eye and softly blend that out. Slightly bring that into the crease, but I'm not really dragging it all the way in. One thing that I really love about this palette is that you can create such a variety of eye looks with this. You can keep it really light and neutral, or you can really like smoke your eyeshadow out, add some burgundy, and like the burgundy in this palette kind of acts as a pop of color in the palette since the other shades are more neutral. And yeah, I really like that about this palette. I'm going to apply the matte shade Poet to place this right on the crease. You can see how pigmented that is, and I'm just placing that in the inner part of the crease a little bit more and blending that out. So you really do not need a lot of this shade because I completely underestimated it, so I'm going to really have to blend right now. I'm going back into the matte Ritual shade and replacing that on the outer corner and blending it up. That pink really kind of took over. So we're going to go back and build up that outer edge more later on, but for now I'm going to also apply the shade Soothe, the matte shade again, just to the lower lash line. Just for now, we'll deepen it up again later. I do want to swatch a little bit more of these shades, so I'm going to try out some of these Sequin shades. And so I'm going to start out with the shade Poet and just, whoa, that's really, wow. Okay, that's really pigmented. So here, let's see if this will focus. Do you guys see how stunning this shade is? And it's freezing outside, but I intentionally wore short sleeves for this reason. So we're going to do some swatches, guys, and like, wow. Oh my god. Okay, this is the reflection of my mirror, but wow. Okay, wow. That's all it has. Like these silver bluish tone glitters throughout it that is just like a totally unique shade. But now I'm going to go into the shade Aura and wow. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer throughout that shade, but I barely like swatched that shade, and that's the pigmentation. My god, I have not tried the Sequin shades before, so this is literally my first impression. So it's super pigmented in person. The camera's not going to pick it up because I'm as pale as the eyeshadow. So next up, I'm going to swatch the Sequin shade called Story because that looks like a really interesting color. Like, I am literally blown away. I don't know if this will... Okay, there we go. Look at that shade. Like, that is... Okay, like, I don't know if this will even show up. Wow, like, I don't think the camera's even doing it justice. So, this is like not even right, but whatever. This is such a good formula. Like, wow, 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 wow. Now I'm going to try the Sequin shade Memory, which is that really dark shade, and oh my god, like, okay, sometimes like really dark, wow, that's really out of focus. Sometimes these really dark black shades come out grayish or patchy. This is none of the above. So let's swatch this. Oh my god. Like, it has these different tone glitters that when the light hits it and reflects, it's just like nothing I've ever seen before. So those are your Sequin shades. There is 2 other ones. They're brown. I know they're going to be amazing. So that's all I'm going to swatch for the Sequin shades. So now I'm going to do some of these metallics, which are the row above. So I'm going to start out with Poet because why not? I feel really creamy, and this is what it looks like on my finger versus on my arm. Wow, that's really creamy. I'm really liking that formula. It feels really nice. It's like really, it's very smooth. I really like that. It's right, this one here. So you can see the difference just by the formula. It's the same tone, but the formula just makes the color come off so different. I'm going to try the Memory metallic shade as well, which is again that really dark shade, and do a little arm swatch again. You guys can see. And oh gosh, I'm gonna like fall off my chair. This is the formula. Like, wow. Oh my gosh. So that one comes up a little more gray. Although on my finger, it looks extremely pigmented. That this would look really, really nice on the eye and like a smoky eye. Wow. I'm beyond excited for these glitters to show you guys these. I won't swatch all of them because I'm gonna just have glitter all over me. And I'm gonna start out with Poet and swatch that. This is like the creamiest glitter formula ever. Like, I don't think you guys are even ready to see this right now, but like, look at this. Okay, of course it doesn't want to focus. Look, the camera can't even handle it. Wow, that shade is absolutely stunning. By packing it like I did from the palette, you can see that pigmentation is just incredible. Then I'm going to try the shade Soothe, the glitter, of course. Again, super creamy formula. I'm not going to try swatches on my arm because I think that this, just by using a finger swatch, kind of does the color more justice than trying to get it onto my arm. And see how reflective that shade is. I'm going to try out the shade Story. Look at that. This pigmentation is just unreal. This is so amazing. This palette is just completely, absolutely amazing and gorgeous. And I cannot wait to put these colors on my eyes. I don't even know how I'm going to decide what to actually put on my eyes today because this is too much. So now I'm gonna walk around like I am like a human paint swatch. Back to the tutorial because the purpose of that was so that I could really see what shades I want to use on my eyes. I'm going to just use some concealer and cut this crease halfway on my lid. Okay, so now that the crease is cut, I am going to just kind of very lightly use a flat eyeshadow brush to just set it a little tiny bit, mainly in the crease, just so that while I'm working on the rest of the eye, the concealer doesn't transfer or anything to the rest of the eye look, but I'm really focusing it just more towards the top of the concealer, not so much on the lid because that won't really transfer as much. I'm going to use an angled eyeshadow brush or eyeliner, whatever you use it for, but I'm going to go into this matte Memory shade, which is the matte black. We're not going to use winged liner today. We're going to use this eyeshadow as our eyeliner so that I can see how the pigmentation is, test it out for you guys so you guys can see how deep and how pigmented this shade is. So I'm kind of just weighing that out, switching my angled brush because this one's a little more narrow, so I think it'll work better. Dragging that as if this was a wing and bringing it in just a little. We're gonna blend this out with other eyeshadow so this will all come together. I have this really nice sharp edge look when we're finished. So I'm going to now use a very small eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go into the matte shade Ritual, which is that really deep brown matte shade, and also the shade Memory, and just blend that right on the edge of that liner, really softening it all out. You can bring it a little onto the concealer, a little bit more of the brown towards the top so it's not too dark and heavy as we move up on the eye. And the idea with this is to give it more of a winged effect rather than like having a defined wing. So this edge should be really sharp, but then on the lid and the outer corner, it doesn't have to be so sharp and precise. We want it to be really blended out. These shades are blending so nicely. I'm so impressed. And then I'm going to also use a smaller blending brush, softly blend that together, the black and the brown, just really want to make it look super blended and smoky. Eyeshadow does happen to go beyond where your edge should be. We're going to just clean it up with some concealer later on, and I'm probably just going to do that anyway so that it looks super sharp. To help soften the look, I'm just going to add the matte shade Soothe and place that right at the top of the crease, going in with my concealer brush, just quickly cleaning that up very lightly. Use a clean eyeshadow brush to help blend out that concealer. And now we get to add the fun glitters, and I have to try to make up my mind, which is that's gonna be hard. Let's see, I don't know what kind of a glitter. I think I'm probably like all these glitters are amazing, and I don't even think I can pick a favorite, but with this look that I have going on today, I kind of am thinking either the Story glitter, I don't know, maybe I'll do an ombre of glitter, because then I can do more than one because I can't make up my mind right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just kind of do an ombre glitter. So I'm going to start with the Ritual glitter, which kind of will go with that brownish deep edge here, and place that. This applies with just a brush anyway. Oh yeah, that's like really good. So I'm really just focusing that on the top part of the eyeshadow, and right here on the eye I'm going to use the Sequin Memory shade. So that's that black one. You can see how pigmented that is. Wow, I am so impressed with that. Look at how pigmented. That is really incredible. That sequin formula is amazing. A little bit of the Memory glitter right over top of that. So I'm going to now use my finger and add the shade Poet, the glitter Poet shade, and with that amazing color, I'm going to place that right on the lid. Look at that pigmentation. That is amazing. It's like these glitters, as I'm patting them on, I think because of their formula, they kind of stick to the lid, which is really nice because you don't have to worry about them moving around as much, or worrying about having to prime the glitter before you apply it. So I really like that. And I'm just going to use a flat eyeshadow brush. And before I work on this here, I'm going to work on this inner corner of the lid. Use the Soothe glitter and apply that just to the inner corner. And those glitters just transition so nicely into each other using a patting motion with this, but I'm having no trouble with the glitter getting on my crease here. So I really like that, because that is always an issue that I feel like happens with a glitter eyeshadow. Kind of gets everywhere and then you have to dust it off the crease and things like that. So I'm really impressed with that so far. I want to kind of help blend this edge and make it look more seamless, give it a more like flawless kind of look. So I'm going to use a blending brush and go into the Matte Ritual color, which is the deeper matte brown. Reapplying this. Really try not to touch that glitter. I'm almost going to just kind of flick inwards with this color so that we don't get any kind of movement of the glitter onto the matte shades, and then applying the matte memory shade, really blending it in. This I am not going to drag back and forth, I am just bringing inwards to help sort of lighten things up. Right here, I'm going to mix the Sequin shade Ritual with Memory and just apply that right there. And as you can see, it just kind of helps to soften the black by adding brown. It doesn't come off as harsh. And just applying the glitter of that same shade right over top where we just placed that, so that we get a nice gradient from darker to lighter. Again, using a patting motion between the two shades to make sure they are seamless. So there was just a tiny bit of a few pieces of glitter on my face from the glittery eyeshadow, but I'm dusting it off and it literally comes right off. It's not like it's sticking to my face, and I already have face makeup on, so it's not gonna cling to your face if it does, if you do get a little bit of fallout and you do your face makeup first like I do. Just to finish off this lower lash line and the eyeshadow for this look, I'm going to place the shade Ritual and just drag that on the lower lash line, really focusing that just towards the outer part of the lower lash line, because then on the inner part of the lower lash line we're going to add the Poet Matte shade so that it kind of coordinates with the eye. So again, use a little bit of that because it is very pigmented. And I don't know if I should apply a little bit of glitter to the lower lash line. I actually might, because it might look really nice. But first I'm just going to do my inner corners and brow bone. For the inner corners, brow bone, I'm going to do the brow bone because I'm going to use the matte shade Aura. I'm not going to use a glitter because it's already so much glitter on the lid. And again, just very lightly do this and blend it into the other shades that we already have because I don't want it to mess with that too much. For the inner corner, I'm going to use the Aura Sequin shade. I'm just going to place that. I'm going to add the shade Soothe, the glitter, and just place that right on the lower lash line. That looks so pretty. Just the inner half of the lower lash line, really not dragging it all the way across. So I'm just going to apply my lashes and mascara since now the eyes are done, and I will be right back. So this is the finished look. Okay, so final thoughts. I completely love this palette. Seriously, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's perfect. Like, I just think that this is such a great palette. Tati said she wanted to create a palette for everybody, and I really think that this is the palette for everybody. It is currently sold out, but I think she's doing pre-orders that are supposed to arrive by December 15th. So if you are interested in this palette, definitely go check it out. It's $48 on TatiBeauty.com. Yeah, I really am so highly impressed. I mean, you could see the pigmentation in the swatches that I did today, how amazing these eyeshadows are. The matte formula is completely blendable, pigmented, great for building up transition on your eyes for your crease color. Absolutely perfect. The sequin shades are stunning. The reflectiveness in them is something so unique, and I really, really love them. And then you have the metallic shades, which they're just so pretty and pigmented. They're reflective and creamy, so it's kind of like not a glitter but not the sequin shade. It's like the perfect kind of in between, and definitely a more creamy formula. And then the glitter is an extremely creamy formula, highly pigmented. Definitely pat them on your lids. Don't rub them. If you drag it, you don't get as much of a pigment, you get more of a loose look. So like for me today, I wanted the glitter to really pop and stand out, so I patted it on the lid. And yeah, so overall, I really recommend this palette to you guys. I think that Tati did an incredible job at this palette. Like, this palette is amazing. So congratulations to her and her brand, and I am so excited to create more looks with this palette. I don't know if I'll put them on here or just Instagram or just on my own time, I don't know, but I'll definitely be using this palette a lot. I might end up using this palette on this channel again anyway very soon, because I think that it kind of deserves more than one video. Yeah, so I'm so excited to see what Tati comes out with in the future and to try it. I mean, this is just volume 1, so if this is her starting point, like, wow, this is gonna be a really good brand, and I'm so excited to see what else she comes out with in the future, and I can't wait to review it for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I upload a new video every week, so make sure you turn on your post notifications just by hitting that bell button. When you subscribe, it's right next to it. You guys can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Victoria Costanz, and on Twitter at Vic Costanz, so make sure you go follow me on there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.